Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Thando Mangaliso, coming live and direct from 27 Boxes on Brand Live Radio. And we are here with the Fashion Blueprint, and we are discussing all things fashion. Today, unlike most days, I'm flying alone. My wife had to go somewhere else. And it's very interesting, wherever I go, because the two of us work together, we always sing together. People can't get over the fact that when I'm not with her, they question me where's Vanya? Where's Vanya? Where's Vanya? Even when I went to one of my suppliers today, I got there alone and he was like, no, man, it's not right when I don't see you without your wife. But believe it or not, I do have my own life. I am my own man. And obviously being with her is a pleasure. But, we're flying solo today, and that's what this is about. So as we start the year, and boy, what a year it has been. We have been very, very busy on the fashion front. As everyone was getting over the January blues of spending so much money, this, that, getting kids back into school, the year has just started off, and it's 2nd of February. Time waits for nobody. And, time is very, very precious. You can do a lot of things in life, get money back, do this, change girlfriends, change lovers, change houses. But time is so precious in that once time has gone by, you can never get it back. So for us, a couple of major moves obviously happened. The first one being that we moved the shop from Legacy Corner back into Nelson Mandela Square. And what a move it has been. The shop is twice the size. We've had a very, very strong response. We moved upstairs, and it's been 3 weeks now, and a night and day difference, in that there's a lot more traffic. And as much as we would have wanted to do it earlier on, it's just life, Things happen, and things happen at the right time for the right reason. And, we're so happy with our new shop at the moment. And talking about the new shop, we've actually had an awesome sale. People always wonder, why do people have sales? I think sales are very, very important in that as much as, we have our regular clients, we were actually able to interact with a lot of people that have not been in contact with the brand. We had a 70% off sale. Can you believe it? Not a 20%, not a 30%, not even a 50, but a 70% sale. And the reason for that is that, obviously we wanted to get rid of stock. We also wanted to add value, to people that have been interested in the brand. And a lot of our clients actually came through, and they couldn't believe that we were actually doing a sale like this. And that has actually gone very, very well. Kicking off the year as well was a very, very nice opportunity for me to go speak to young students at LISOF. LISOF, as everyone knows, is the London Institution of Fashion. It's one of the top schools in the country for fashion. I remember myself when I was a graduate, even though I didn't study fashion itself, I went to business school in France. But as much as I was going to go speak to these young people about fashion, and they were supposed to feed off me, I found myself feeding off their energy, There's nothing like having young people who are determined, young people who want to actually make a change in this world, people who are not jaded, people who want to make a difference, and, congratulating them on taking this bold move into the fashion industry, which we all know is not easy. And the one thing that kept on coming up over and over again was, what careers are there in fashion? And, I told them, look, obviously a lot of their parents were a bit worried in that there aren't too many successful people in fashion. When you think of artists, when you think of people in fashion and the arts in general, they just see a lot of poverty, Most parents just want you to go do a straight BCom, business administration or marketing or something like that. And my whole thing was to encourage them and to let them understand that education is not just about the education that you get. People must not treat education as a destination. Education is an ongoing thing. So as much as, yes, you are doing fashion, you must study a bit of business, you must study a bit of philosophy, even a bit of science in there, So that was my week last week, just inspiring young people, and also letting them know that there are many ways to skin a cat. Just because you are doing fashion doesn't mean that you have to do, garments and design garments for people. There are many, many ways to get into fashion. There's the selling of fashion. There's the buying of fashion. There's the distribution of fashion. You think of half of town is dedicated to the selling of fabrics, the selling of haberdashery, uniforms. It's endless. The thing just goes on and on and on. And the interesting thing about as much as people are training to be fashion designers and they think art, my whole angle to the whole talk was think of business. Think of a business that you want to be in. Think of yourself, where you want to be, and be that person now. There's no point going to college, designing garments for yourself and your friends, but not actually having customers that you've got in mind, because the businesses need to start now. You can't be 23 years old, 24 years old, never really having worked or tested yourself in the market, and now all of a sudden you have to, produce these garments. So a very, very inspiring week spent there, and it was just great. Also last week as well, we went to CEDA. CEDA is a government part of CETA, and what they basically do is they help with the funding of young people, but they actually don't distribute funds themselves. They will help you with things like your business plan, help you to put your books together, if there are any legal documents that need to be done. They also do a SWOT analysis, which is your strengths and weaknesses, and just seeing what the opportunities are going forward. And we are one country where government is actually trying to direct people, and more importantly, fund people. If you think of any other country in the world, where are we able to, as young entrepreneurs who don't really have much experience, government is willing to back small businesses. And the reason why they were willing to back small businesses is that as much as government is doing a wonderful job by employing people, 50% of all jobs in this country are created by your SMMEs, your classic small moms and pops shops. So you think of ourselves, for example, we employ 10 people. Now those 10 people feed another 5 to 6 people. So that's 60 people that have got roofs over their heads and are fed. And I think, looking at it like that, it creates a great opportunity for us to expand our business, but more importantly, to create opportunities for young people in the business. So hit us up on our website. We've got CETA information there and CEDA information there as well. And I think this is going to be a great year, people are positive. 2017 from a business perspective, there was a lot of slowdown, but there's a lot of optimism entering 2018. And I think this is going to be a great year, and that's what it's about. Now, to move on to the next topic, as everyone knows, SA Fashion Week is coming up in the next 2 to 3 months. And the question I always get asked all the time is, should I do Fashion Week? Why should I do Fashion Week? What is Fashion Week about? Fashion Week basically is a platform for designers in South Africa to be able to create ranges that they are going to be producing in the future. So when you think of Fashion Week, it's a look into the future. What we are producing now will only be developed in the next 3 to 4 months, going in terms of our patterns, but will actually hit the stores in the next 6 months. So as much as we are in the middle of summer, we are going to be showing winter. I think for us as a fashion house, it brings great focus, It helps us streamline the direction that we're going to be taking. It helps us, think about what the plan is, how we're going to be distributing this fashion, What is the impact of what we're trying to do, considering that there are existing trends, and how do we as Sun Goddess fall into that? So March, very exciting time. We should be having castings in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And it's all about the glamour, it's all about the taste, it's all about South African fashion coming together. And I'll be coming back from a break now. And the song that we're going to be playing is a song by the name of a guy called Young Man, Young Man.
Bounce back, kush come. 20 choppers for the morning. Smoky, smoky, get a flight back. Sit down, tell a story. Young man. Look at me, look at them. Can't you see we had that ooh shit? Katie Yeager to the front.
Little nigga, look here. You about to disappear. Heard you take it from the rear. You should get up out of here. All day in the stew. Look at me, look at you. Big dudes coming through. Young boys coming through. On one, yeah. Few weeks on two. 2 boots, 2 chains. 2 rings, 2 coupes. These boots too strange. These niggas too lame. These niggas ain't gang. Watch me go poof. Lil nigga, look here. Watch me disappear. Take a girl from the rear. Take a girl from a dare. All day in the stew. Look at me, look at you. Why you take me for a fool, man? I'm just doing what I gotta do.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Me here, no stress. No stress. Me finna bounce back. Cause come. These niggas got stress. Me, I'm blessed.
Bounce back, kush come. 20 choppers for the morning. Smoky, get a flight back. Sit down, tell a story. Young man. Look at me, look at them. Can't you see we had that ooh shit? Katie Yeager to the fam. You don't really need to understand. Out here chillin', not just smoking dank. Loads of music, gotta need a tank. Shoot these niggas out the ceiling, man. Little nigga, they don't give a damn. Fake niggas getting real again. Lil' Mezzy been a minute, fam. Where you at? Gotta make some plans. Shaka, onion dab. Raining, flooding, find some cover. Dark days, we need each other. Bunch of men and Barry clovers. See the sharks trying to chill a nigga real quick. Deep waters ain't safe, man. I think I need a kill switch. Look him up a real jit, so we know who's the hunter, who the fuck a real fish. Now me back in '09. Way before I knew the vessel was a gold mine. I was by the shoreline, waiting to dismiss some feast that I ate way before time. Very true with inside jawline. Hit her with a motherfucking 4-5. I know she like it, man. I'm so proud. Killing verses, check my profile. Bitches lurking on the coastline.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za.
Back on attack, talking all things fashion. And, we're just talking about Fashion Week, the excitement of Fashion Week, the build up to Fashion Week. The irony about Fashion Week is that it literally lasts for 20 minutes, We've got to do something like about 45 garments. There is so much work and time spent putting the collection in together. You literally sweat for the presentation only to last for 20 minutes. But these 20 minutes are very, very important in that 20 minutes we're able to compress everything into a press pack and send it out to our clients, both in South Africa and abroad. Buyers are able to see what you're doing and they are able to select what it is that they want from you. SA Fashion Week is not the only Fashion Week that we do. We are going to be doing London Fashion Week this year, and we're also going to be doing the Black Arts Festival in Atlanta. London is great. We've done London Fashion Week before. Obviously, we're doing more of the periphery shows because unlike South Africa, where from day one you get to do the main show, in London, you've got to earn the right. So obviously, 17 years being in the game, we've been there a couple of times, and now they're going to give us an opportunity to get onto the same stage as some of the big labels. A lot of excitement is going to be coming from us. We literally cannot contain our excitement. And for us as well, when you think of local tradition, global trend, that theme continues, where when you look at a Sun Goddess item, it is so South African. But at the same time, the underlying factor is it is in a global world and it's about a global experience and what Sun Goddess is adding with regards to global trends. If you think of South African design, especially let's say 15 years ago, it was nowhere to be seen internationally because basically we were just copying what was being done overseas. Now, in the last 15 years, there's been a very strong shift and an emphasis towards our culture, our roots, and once that started to happen, the rest of the world started to take interest. When people see a shweshwe skirt, they ask like, what is that print? What is that print about? And you start telling them, no, this is South Africa. This is how we do it. And, there's just a lot of excitement, in terms of what ethnic clothes are about. And, if you think of Bollywood, let's say 20 years ago as well, it was nowhere. It started off with the movies. Then you look at Indian food, you look at Indian culture, you look at, Indian fashion and what is happening in the world today. And it's starting to happen here in South Africa. More and more people are going overseas, and more importantly, more and more people are not just going overseas to show, but more and more people are coming back with orders. So that is our year basically in a nutshell. Very, very excited. And we also wanted to talk to you about our menswear. When people think Sun Goddess, they always think of ladies' wear, but no, we've actually been doing menswear now for the last 12 years. Men are different, in that they know exactly what they want. A little bit more conservative, which makes it more predictable for us in terms of what we need to design for them. And it's never a case of hit and miss. We're able to target them more efficiently, and it's interesting to see how guys have opened up to fashion wear, If you think 15 years ago, most guys would not really have wanted to wear an African kaftan. African clothes for them was more weddings, more fancy dress, more membeso. Guys were actually forced into wearing African dress. But now, things have changed. People want to express themselves more. And I think that's coming through. And we get a lot of guys wearing the stuff to work. I dropped off 5 shirts for a very, obviously I'm not allowed to mention names, but one of the big honchos at Transnet. And he actually sent me a picture this morning of himself wearing his shirt. And he actually goes on to say that on Friday he's going to start wearing his shirts. And he's actually going to get people to dress more African, on a Friday. I remember going to Lagos about 10 years ago. And yeah, every Friday is National Dress Day. And it inspired me, because as much as we wear fashion every day, but there have to be those days where we are able to express ourselves as South Africans. When you step off the plane, what makes us South Africans? And how do we know that we are South African? We could just be anyway, the way that people dress. But the nice thing that I'm seeing now is that there's more color, there's more an emphasis on identity. And that's what it's about. Identity is the crux of the matter. Because in the end of the day, without identity, who are we? What are we? So coming back to men's fashion again, we do a wide range of things, starting off with, casual kaftans. We do men's pants. We do men's accessories. Men's accessories are very, very big. I find that a lot of guys are tired of just wearing one watch on the arm. Guys want to wear something around the neck. Guys want to wear something on the other arm. Guys want to express themselves. Yes, you've got the business look, and yes, we're told to be conservative. But now, it's 2018, the world is changing. So if you think of how the world is changing, and part of that is men wanting to accessorize themselves. And that's why, once we launched the fragrance, we realized that because guys would come in for the fragrance, but then they would be like, what else do you have for me? I love the fragrance. How else can I express myself with the brand and Sangodas? And that's where the men's range came in. So we did our first show in 2006. And since then, we've been very, very successful with our range. The way we like to do business is, as much as we get a lot of new clients coming to the shop, 80% of our business is repeat business. I think it's always good to keep the clients that you have and build on them and let them grow with the brand. So talking all things fashion, we move now to the philosophy of Sangodas. If you think of global trends, global traditions, why did we start an African brand? Now, it's easy for people to think African clothes and, because things have been developed. But if you think 20 years ago, there was no African fashion really, except for, like I said, at weddings and things like that, and it was fancy dress. So you can imagine when we decided that we are going to start an African label called Sangodas, selling as a shweshwe, as it was dictated in our business plan in Rosebank and Sandton. People looked at us as if we were crazy, Our parents were up in arms. We had good advertising jobs. But, when you're young and you've got a vision and you've got a passion, it's very important to stick to that vision and passion. And that is what has brought us here today. Fashion is everything for us, Most people say, why fashion? Well, for me, creating something out of nothing, having a piece of fabric there, having an idea, sketching the idea, and watching the idea come to fruition is very, very satisfying. And not only that, I've sold clothes for the last 18 years, starting in the back of my car. We've opened shops all over the country. But even up until today, when someone buys from me, it's a very humbling experience, I find myself becoming very, very emotional, no matter how many times I do it. And I really want to thank the South African public for supporting us over the years. You think of a month like January, which was very, very quiet, and we're thinking to ourselves, oh my word, how are we going to do this? But because, like I said, we've got a lot of repeat business, people come through. And when they come through strong. They know what we want. And when the minds meet and the concept is clear, then we're able to run with it and we're able to succeed as a business. And that's what I'm saying to a lot of young people, hold on to your dreams. Dreams are not something that, are just going to come in the middle of the night to you. Dreams are your dreams that you think about, but then how do we make those dreams come to fruition? What needs to be done? And, a lot of people always talk about money and obstacles and this and that. getting to do what you want to do is a privilege. And I go on to say, living your dream. You've got to work for it. So think of breaking into a house. If the front door is locked, go through the window. If the window is locked, you've got to go through the back door. And if not that, find a way through the chimney, But the most important thing is you need to stick to what you are doing and make sure that you get into the house. And once you start to live your dreams, that's when life opens up to you, Life becomes beautiful, They talk of a beautiful life, and that is what we are living. I'm so privileged to be able to do what I set out to do, to be a designer, selling African clothes in my shop, and being the boss of myself. So, not that I don't have any words, but as you can hear, I am very emotional, because when I think about it, a lot of people have gone through a lot of rough times, and people have closed their shops, but we continue to do what we do. Not that we're special, but you need to wake up every morning and just tell yourself that, hey man, I need to go get it. And talking about going to go get it, we're going to play one more song before we close off, called Wena by a great South African talent, Master G.
Ndahlangana nomama wathi wena no lugoduka lithe ndihamba ndahlangana nomama wathi wena no lugoduka ndizamile esikolweni akalunga wathi wena ugoduka ndizamile emsebenzini akwalunga wathi wena ugoduka sekungcono ugoduka 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 ngonomthathi umthwalo yami ndigoduka abantu abamnyama basasizani ayi nayiphela impilo ngcono ugoduke abantu abamnyama bo abasasizani bo khuzani bo nayiphela impilo ngcono ugoduke mina sekhumbula ugogo
Live and direct, as I said before, back on attack, talking fashion. So what you want to do when you're stuck at 32? Okay, now that's my line. Okay, I tried to be a rapper when I was young, but that didn't work out. But as far as fashion goes, we just want to wrap up for today. I just want to thank everyone for listening to me, and for me also flying solo today. It was a bit strange, but these things happen, and obviously a wonderful opportunity. Wants to thank the Brand Live Radio family for having us on air here today. This is a wonderful collaboration. It's good for us not to only talk fashion, but to discuss the business of fashion. What the business is about. How are we able to sustain our creativity? Because once the creativity is sustained, then we are able to dream. That's when we are able to grow. And that's what I want young people to think about today. Whether you're a drummer, whether you're a rapper, whether you're making shoes, whether you're a painter, what is your next move? How are you going to be able to sustain yourself? If you're selling painting, what does it mean? Are you selling at the right price? It's all about that whole thing of being more entrepreneurial. Yes, we are artists, but in the end of the day, we've got to sell, and that's what it's about. I sell 365 days in the year except for Good Friday and Christmas, and the only reason why I don't sell on those days is because the mall is closed. Otherwise, I remember as a young entrepreneur opening the shop up on a Christmas morning at 9 o'clock, only to find that nobody actually came. So and I did that for a few years, but for me it was about the passion of selling. That's what I'm about. As much as I am a designer, more importantly, I'm a salesperson. I love selling. I love the interaction with clients. I love having staff as well. Staff can be problematic at times, but that's the whole thing about being in business. It's about business management, managing not only yourself but your staff around you to make sure that Sangodes, or whatever business that you're in, is successful. So before I lock off, I just want to say everyone must have a fantastic weekend, but more importantly, weekends must be used to plan schemes for the week ahead. We see through the dark like an owl. Daytime is used to fly schemes for the night prowl. So I'm out, over and above, and as South Africans, let's put our best foot forward, and let's take over the world. Thank you very much.
Harnessing the power of talk radio. Brandlive.co.za. Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.